Everybody, can you hear me? Type into the question box if you can. Are you there, Mr. X? So how's everybody on this nice, fine, well, it's evening here, but it looks like you guys from all around the world. Mr. X, are you here?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah. There he is.
Oh, perfect.
Y'all ready to go?
Let's do this, man.
All right, guys. Well, hey, listen, you guys are in for a treat. Excuse me. It gives me a lot of pleasure to introduce this guy. I mean, I have a lot of friends in the industry. I've been around forever, but, so you have friends, then you have friends, and this guy, is really a friend. And, man, it seems like it's yesterday, but I've actually kind of known him for a while now. I've seen this guy go from, 0 to 1,000. And I know he started out, he got a few tips from me or whatever, but he did well. And he actually won our what's it called, the marketer of the year at my affiliate millionaires event. So, so he's familiar to some of you guys, but what a lot of you guys might not know is that, he's very well respected in our industry now. And, he's kind of one of those, go-to guys. And, it's kind of funny because he started off, he got some tips from me. And now, I hit him up a lot of times if I need some help with stuff. I mean, so it's really a good situation like that. But I think one of the main things that impresses me about him is that, he really genuinely does like helping other people. And I'm telling you, like, we actually had a high-end event. I mean, it was a few years ago, but now. I know for a fact that two of the people that were there, they were not millionaires when they got there, and they're millionaires now, due to what this guy taught them. And I know for a fact too, though, one guy, I don't think he's quite millionaire yet, but he's made, in the high hundreds of thousands, with that information as well. So, and I know people personally, that owe their millions to this man right here. So not only, has he done well for himself, but I think, even just as important is that he's really helped a lot of other people, reach success as well in this business. So, without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to him. I'm excited to hear what he has to say as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. jjalan.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Glad to have everybody here on the call, man. Thanks for your kind words, Greg. I really appreciate it. It's kind of funny that that you had mentioned that, because I do recall very well the how when I had first started, I started watching videos like this, free webinars that Greg Davis always threw out, so I was always hungry, watching, learning, and that's Greg. I owe a lot of my foundation and my beginning to him, so I really appreciate your time, Greg. That's why whenever, things change sometimes in our industry. It's an ever-growing industry, so we always have to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adapt to the changes that's going on in our industry. I remember one thing, Greg, do you remember last year when you had done your event out in DC? I went up on stage and I spoke, and I was like, hey, one of the things that I'm doing, I had this hat on that said, "Make straight sale great again." And, at the time, trial was so big that, like, people were looking at me like, are you crazy? Why would you end trial and just go to straight sale? And I say, you know what, man? After a while, you just got to see the writing on the walls. Things are not going to get any better at this point. And I'd rather switch my business model to something a little bit more sustainable. And that's why we had pivoted over to straight sale. And, it was perfect timing because shit hit the fan a couple months later, right?
Yep.
So, I'm definitely glad I did do that move. And I think that's how it is in business. You got to see how things have been changing and be able to adapt towards it, because times are changing all the time, So, yeah, in our webinar, first of all, I want to talk about who this webinar is really for. This webinar that we're going to be talking about some gray hat strategies. And so this webinar is more for people who are sick and tired of the cat and mouse game, tired of trying to play the game with Facebook, with Google, with different traffic networks, right? People who are ready to already know their numbers, or people who want to find out what their numbers are, just look at the numbers of what a success rate actually is and use those numbers to your advantage. Somebody who wants to build something sustainable, something long-term that's going to be able to be with them, month after month. People who also are coachable. You got to be able to look at things a little bit differently. Like I said earlier with the straight sale, how I had to shift, I had to be able to look at things and be able to adapt to a new way of looking at our business model. You got to love the journey in the game. The game is great. You can go from 0 to 1,000,000 real quick. But you know what? It's that journey in that game that you've got to love. Because you know what? There's ups and downs, but it's in this journey of your ups and downs that you got to love the hustle. You got to love the game, And people really were looking for people who have good work ethic. There's webinars for people who have work ethic and would rather work hard instead of popping bottles every night with models. That type of lifestyle is not really conducive to business. So yeah, if you're one of those type of people, then by all means, stick around to this webinar, and I'm sure this webinar is going to be a big eye opener for you guys for 2019. Before we get started, this new media buying strategy with this gray hat marketing that we're doing, we're able to get between $5 to $10 CPAs, and our payouts are anywhere from $20 to $40. There are other methods and other verticals that we go for, but if you're able to get your cost per acquisition at $10 and you're getting paid out $20, you're getting 100% ROI. You're not worried about counts going down. If that's something that interests you, just say I'm in right now in the chat box. Just say I'm in. If you would love to hear about something where you can run campaigns, not have to worry about your counts going down every single day, then just type I'm in. Because you know what? I don't know about you guys, but it's time that in 2019 we do things a little bit differently, right? But I'll show you exactly how we did that. But just stay till the end, okay? It's gonna be a little puzzle. It's all gonna come together at the end. You guys will see. So now, our leads are coming in at so cheap as like $5, $10, all right? We're gonna teach you exactly how to do this, how you can dominate in 2019, and basically start a media buying business so you can take advantage of this, right? But before we begin, I just got a quick question for you guys. Who here really knows what affiliate marketing is? I know a lot of people on this call may already be familiar with affiliate marketing, but if you're not, that's okay. We can go over it real quick. If you don't, it's fine. You can say that you don't know. All right, great. So yeah, basically real quick, affiliate marketing is just that we find some offers, right? If you go to a simple website called offervault.com, on this website, you'll see that there are tons of different offers available that you can be able to start marketing for and getting commission, right? So basically we just advertise for these products, and then we get paid out when somebody reaches a certain goal, whether it's an acquisition or a sale, okay? Very plainly put, Jason Akatif made this amazing layout diagram. I actually use the same diagram when I bring in new people and we do interviews to help them understand what the industry really is. So you can get this if you want on Jason's website, jasonakatif.com. But in here, you'll see that there's plenty of different traffic sources out there, right? You have Google Ads, Facebook. You got different traffic sources where you can be able to get traffic, right? From the traffic sources, we push them through through our internal media buying team or just through third-party affiliates, okay? Now, in this situation, we also have people that we work with for vendors for our softwares that handle all the management of the links, statistics, all of that, right? There's a offer platform called Cake, another one called Has Offers, right? So those are the main two that's out besides HitPath, of course. Then what we also got is we have advertisers who connect with these platforms, and these advertisers have different models of business. Okay, so they pay out on different conversions. So it might be a trial, it might be a straight sale, it might be just a lead gen, or it might be an install. A trial could be something like a credit report, skincare, diet, sales could be the same thing, straight sales for that. Leads could be for like dating, rental, refinance, games, and we also got all the other lead gen stuff in the financial industry as well. And just typical installs for games and apps, mobile apps, those are really big. So now we do have a major problem in this industry, okay? Our major problem in this industry, specifically more so in Black Hat, is our traffic generation. Our traffic generation strategy usually sucks in Black Hat. You know, it's a churn game. We're playing the game wrong if we keep doing it this way. In 2019, if we don't change, things are gonna get worse, right? Other major problem might be we're not systemized, or we might have built the wrong team, or we're not monetizing traffic correctly. We're not building out our own long-term assets, or we might just be distracted by shiny object syndrome, listening to too many people. I don't know about you or where do you guys stand, but there's definitely a problem there. One of the major problems is focus. That has been one of mine, and I want to help you guys so you can be able to focus more by following our proven methods. So what we'll be discussing in this webinar are proven methods that you guys can utilize, okay? And these proven methods in this gray hat marketing will be able to help you guys out tremendously, okay? Just follow the system because it already works. So real quick, my story is I was fired from my job a few days before Christmas. It was maybe like 5 days before Christmas. And I was just came back from lunch one day, and they had a box out waiting for me and was like, here, pack up your shit and go we don't need you anymore. So it was very, very hard on me. So the first Christmas that was completely hard on me. I had just gotten married a couple of months prior to that. 2 months prior to that, I had just gotten married, and now, my first married Christmas and holiday I'm spending being unemployed. So I spent several months being unemployed. I spent many sleepless nights, just failure after failure after failure after failure, just one after the other. And I just felt like a total loser, because I couldn't get anything working. And then one day everything turned around. I learned about Greg Davis and his webinars, started learning some things that were so simple that all I needed to do was execute. And I couldn't believe it, because as soon as I took action on those things that Greg was teaching about on his webinars back then, I actually started to get results. After that, I started to join the mastermind group. We always talk about masterminds are the best way to execute and get into more success, because you'll be able to collaborate with other people and pick up success from other people as well. Success always leaves clues. And then I just scaled in Bootstrap, honestly. I couldn't get a credit card. I didn't get a line of credit. My credit was so horrible, I couldn't get a credit card at all. And this was back in 2013. So my credit was so bad that I was on a ramen noodle diet back then. And if you see this car, I upgraded on the right. I have my old beat up Honda Civic, right, coupe. And then I just upgraded a couple months later to a BMW 750. My car was broken down. I made the choice to not spend that $1,000 on fixing the car. Instead, I would rather put that $1,000 invested into campaigns so I can make that $1,000 into $2,000. And I don't know about you guys, but do you guys think that was a wise decision to just bootstrap business, right? Lower my expenses so I could be able to save more money and invest into business, and I could be able to grow. That was a good idea, right? It definitely worked out for me. This is what happened. The following year, I met Greg Davis. Actually, I met Greg Davis that year in 2013. I went up to him at a party and I was like, bro, you have no idea who I am, but thank you. I made my first $100,000 month, and I owe a great part of this to the foundation that you gave me through those webinars that you made. And I don't know if you remember that, Greg, but I was so shocked to even see you there. I was nervous to even say hi to you, bro.
I remember. Yeah, it was affiliate, I think.
Yeah, it was affiliate summit, man. We're like an affiliate ball or something, and I just saw you, and I was like, oh my God, that's that guy Greg Davis I see on Facebook all the time. Let me not ask him for a picture because he's gonna think I'm some stalker or something. Let me just tell him how grateful I am for changing my life. But yeah, that's basically how it was, man. And then I went and spoke at your event, Greg, the following year. And then I was chosen as Affiliate Marketer of the Year, or the new Affiliate Marketer of the Year at that time. It was a great moment in my life. I actually still have that trophy here with me, even though I don't drink alcohol. Thank you for, helping me with that, Greg, that night. Finishing that bottle.
No problem.
So then we got, me and Greg, we've hosted web masterminds in the past. This is Giancarlo. Giancarlo was one of the people who had attended our masterminds, was not a millionaire before and became a millionaire after. A couple other guys were there also, same situation. A couple of guys are on the path right now to it as well. Everybody operates on their own speed, right? Here's a picture of me and my wife. I used to post pictures of other stuff, fancy cars, other, shopping sprees, Louis, whatever. Nobody really cares about that. I want to show you, like, this is what my real life is about. This is me and my wife and my daughter. And we have another kid on the way coming in a couple of months. But, I choose to spend my time with them. We like to travel in style sometimes. This is a picture of me and my wife and my daughter. We took a jet and we just decided to take it for us, and we went over to Orlando and just had a good time over there. My daughter was able to play around the plane all day, and she had a little seat just for her little dolls and stuff like that. It was great experiences you're able to have like that sometimes. Instead of popping bottles every night with models, I pop bottles with my two ladies, my wife and my daughter, and we pop bottles of water, high quality aquapana. And now we actually, we moved from our old place in New Jersey, and we moved over here to Puerto Rico. We live in Puerto Rico now at the Ritz-Carlton at a 6-star resort. It's very beautiful. We came here on vacation one day, and we said, you know what? What if we could just fucking live like this? Have you guys ever been to on vacation and you just thought you don't want to leave? Do you just want to stay like this and you want to stay here? This is how you want to live your life? Well, you know what? I was actually one of the crazy people who actually made that into a reality. I came here, saw it, loved it, and I stayed. I mean, it's so beautiful. We spend our evenings over here at the pool, or we spend our weekends over here at our water park. This water park is amazing. It has a lazy river, water slides. It's freaking amazing, man. I love it out here. But I'm just showing you this not to impress you, but to impress upon you that, you saw a couple of years ago when I had first met Greg in 2013, had a beat up Honda Civic. I didn't really know where I was going in my life. I had goals, I had dreams, but I wasn't really, I didn't really have a clear path of where to go. And until I was able to join a mastermind and learn some stuff from Greg, I didn't really understand the foundations of the business industry and which was the proper way for me to go and execute so we can start making money. And that's actually when my whole life had changed. So here's the agenda for tonight. The agenda for tonight's webinar is we're going to talk about how to start a media buying team for 2019, the latest technologies and softwares that's available to leverage into building a team faster and stronger than ever before, and also new gray hat strategies that's actually going to dominate in 2019. We've been testing this and working with this for the last couple of months, and I'm telling you, this is going to be the way to go in 2019. So let's go over the anatomy of a media buying team. Okay, so anatomy of a media team, if you just want to chunk it down to the simplest levels, is first we need a web developer. Okay, we need a web developer, we need a junior media buyer, and a senior media buyer. Okay, so those are the three main roles. You have other roles that you can add in, but these are more like the departments. Okay, you can always add in a project manager, operations manager, those type of things, but those are more to oversee these different departments that we have and make sure that we're all on track. So in here, the first department will be web dev department. Okay, so if we're going to build a new media buying team, what you're going to want to do is have a web dev department. And what these people are going to do is their sole job should be just to buy domains, set up web hosting, integrate the domain with the web hosting, set up SSL certificates, set up the websites, whether it's WordPress, static sites, or other type of CMS platforms that you can utilize as well. Put in articles into the websites, products into the website as well, and use aged domains. That's actually something that's very key when you're running media buying. Is you want to make sure that you're using an aged domain, not a brand new domain, because sometimes when it goes into review, they'll see this aged domain and they'll look at this account as being a lot more authentic. Okay. It's actually very important also for native platforms as well. So what we have here is junior media buyers is another department. Junior media buyers, what they're going to do is they're going to plan the campaigns that we're going to set up. We're going to do the initial warm-up campaign setups. They're going to manage and allocate the cap that we are given in whichever verticals that we're utilizing. And what they also do is optimize the different landing pages that you're using, advertorials, or different offers that you're using, okay? That's actually one of the most important parts is optimizing for landing page and offer, okay? Then we got the top of it, which is media buyers, okay? The media buyers actually the top of the media buying department. So they're the people who are making the most important decisions on the campaigns. They're setting up the real campaigns that are running, and they manage it, optimize it across different traffic platforms, and make sure that everything's profitable with the campaigns. Okay. Then we leave everything else to the junior media buyers and for the web dev team to work out the technicalities of everything. Now, in building a strong media buying team, one thing that's going to be very important is to have a strong financial structure. Incentivize people, your junior media buyers, web dev, incentivize people properly. People don't always work for money. You would be very surprised. I've taken up people that, I've taken out this one guy. I said, listen, I'll give you a full partnership on this media buying department. You'll take 50% of everything. I'll even give you a 10K a month salary. And some people just aren't ready for it, to tell you the truth. People don't always work for money. This guy just ended up doing other things, and money wasn't what actually persuaded him to work. It was other things. It was more, it wasn't security, because then the salary would have helped him tremendously. The thing that motivated him was something completely different, and it was actual teamwork, being in a team. And if he felt that he wasn't in a team, somebody that he could work with on a day-to-day basis, one-on-one, he just felt like he wasn't able to function properly. So that was a key indicator that said, okay, this person is probably not fit to lead a team. This person is only fit to be a team player. And that's okay, because not everybody can be all-stars. But everybody can be part of an all-star team, right? One book that I did read before that has really helped me out on this is something called Persuasion Engineering by Richard Bandler. I learned NLP through Richard Bandler back in, God, I don't even know what year, but this must have been about, 10 years ago at least. I had no money, really. I had that beat up Honda Civic, and I found out that he was having an event down in Florida, in Orlando. And I just drove there one day and I said, hey, I want to learn about persuasion engineering and NLP. And this is actually something that's very important personally to me, to be able to communicate with people effectively. So I highly recommend that book, Persuasion Engineering. So now, as we're going over our different financial models, this is something I picked up from Jason Akatif. I owe some of the things of organizational structure in my business due to Jason Akatif. I read his blog one day and it really helped me out in my business. So in here you can see that, you just go over, you got to have a game plan of structure financially of how you're going to plan everything out. How much you want to pay your managers, your media buyers, your web dev team on a payroll, commission structure, or any benefits that you want to incentivize them with. So those are things that you want to plan out for in your financial model, okay? You can go to his website if you want to get the spreadsheet, okay? It's just a spreadsheet that you could be able to download from his website. And from there, you can edit everything and everything just calculates automatically for you, all right? Another thing that you're going to want to do is to have a strong media buying team, right? And to build a new media buying team is you're going to want to have a strong organizational structure, okay? An organizational structure basically just means everything that's going on in your business, you want to have everything on one place, okay? It shouldn't be like, okay, I got some of my information here on my Apple Notes and in my Evernotes, and then I got stuff on my Google Docs, and then I got stuff on my Microsoft Excel spreadsheet at home and in the office, and you don't want to have everything all over the place. Just have everything in one place so you can have a bird's eye view of everything that's going on in your business. Okay, you're gonna want to know your KPIs, know your numbers, know what stage each of these campaigns and accounts are at. Okay, you'll start to see that when you start structuring your business, you'll know your numbers. Okay, for me to make 10K this week, I need to set up, I need to have X amount of accounts running, and I need to have X amount of accounts being set up, and I need to have X amount of new accounts created. Okay, so that's a type of process and stages you want to be able to have a bird's eye view of, so you can be able to plan your business. So this is one way that I have been doing it, the old school way, okay? Just a very simple spreadsheet, okay? I'd recommend it if you're on a tight budget, just go on Google Docs, open up Google Sheets, and have a Google Sheet there that you can be able to share with people, especially your media buying team. And in here, you would enter in all the information that you need in order to be able to organize everything effectively. Okay. Different stages that we have here on the side, right? We have white hat spending, white hat spent, gray hat spent. So, those are some of the stages. The other stages that come before that are under the pyramid of our media buying. Then we have other sections that we're putting in information in so we can organize everything, right? We got how are we going to access these accounts? Do we access these accounts from our home computer? Do we use a proxy? Do we use a team viewer? What is information for the FTP of the website? Where is that website located at? What is the IP of that website? You'd be really shocked, but sometimes you'll use the same web host and they'll actually give you the IP all over again that you've used previously. So what happens if you use the same IP that was associated with a previous account that's already suspended, then that will inadvertently affect your account as well. So you want to make sure that you keep track of the IPs. Then we also have the emails also, web host, the computer if we're doing a team view, or if it's a hotspot, if we're using physical computers as well. And if you're using Google, the email information for Google, how you set it up. Facebook, same thing for all the other traffic networks as well. Okay, so this is one simple method you guys could utilize to be able to go ahead and start building a team where you can structure everything effectively. Okay, you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this, guys, if you guys want. This will give you something to go ahead and start working from. Okay, but I highly recommend if you haven't done this yet, try to have everything on one spreadsheet so you can be able to collaborate with your team a lot more effectively, have everything in one place instead of everything scattered all over the place. It's happened to me. That's how I first started when I did that, and I lost information, accounts, campaigns, you name it. Another thing is you want to do is start having a good business plan. Have a strong business plan, break it down on a monthly basis, weekly basis, quarterly, biannual basis, and annual basis. All right. Some of the things you want to cover in your business plan, right, is I actually call it game plan. But one of the things that I call in my business plan is what are the areas of our concentration, right? What are the resources we currently have in hand? What are the resources that we need to achieve our plan and goals? What are the team membership roles and goals that we have right now? And who are the new team's members that we're going to need in order for us to accomplish these goals? Do we hire a JV? Do we hire a consultant so we can execute faster, or do we just JV with somebody? Do we collaborate with somebody? The speed to implementation is everything in business. So if you find somebody who is able to do something more effectively than you can, and they're able to execute it quicker than you can, by all means, work with them, all right? Because speed to implementation is everything. I'd rather make money today and not make money next year in January or February. You know what I mean? I'd rather make money today. All right. Another thing you want to have in your game plans or your business plans is what tests are we going to be performing? How will we measure these tests? Okay. For example, one thing that you could be testing for are, let's say, your credit card types, the bins of these credit cards. Some bins may not be working as well as other bins. Some bins may have just been hit so hard that they cause issues, they cause flags. What about funding types? What if instead of using a credit card or you use a debit card? What if instead of using a Visa, you use a Discover? What if instead of using a Discover, you just use an American Express? What if instead of even using debit or credit, you just use a checking account and have them direct debit from your checking account? I could tell you right off the bat, if you have an option to do direct debit, a lot of times they work out way better than credit cards. But at the same time, what benefit do you have of using a direct debit for them to automatically debit it from your checking account than you have from using a credit card? Is it worth it to you to do that? Or is it more worth it for you to use a credit card where you're able to get, collect points and accumulate points? Those are the type of things that you want to think about when you're setting up your game plan as well. Projects and ideas. What other ideas that you have that you might want to add into your business plan as well? Things that you want to do down the line, right? Do these projects and ideas you have, does it actually fit your bigger end goal? And the one thing I always ask myself whenever I think about these new projects and ideas that I have is, does this add to my business or does it multiply my business? And typically, I do not like to do anything that only adds to my business. I only like to take on things that are going to multiply my business to enhance my business even more. So now that we're going over those things, one of the things that's very crucial, is very important, is what can you do to systemize? What can you automate? What part of your business can you leave it to technology to avoid human error, B, execute way faster, collapse time frames so you can be able to scale a lot better, a lot harder. All right. You can look at different things, maybe domain purchasing and integration with your web host, profit and loss, setting up landing pages, split testing landing pages, split testing offers, managing your cap allocation from the networks, or just optimizing different cap that you have, right? So let's look at this. We have here a quick dashboard here that I just want to go over real quick. And we're just be going over some things that you can do to systemize your business a little bit better, right? So on this back end, it's just software that we have found that we have utilized in our business. It really helps us out a lot, tremendously, right? We utilize this with all our media buyers. So each media buyer has their own section, and we're able to collaborate a lot more effectively and see a bird's eye view of everything that's going on, and to also systemize things a little bit more, right? Because here you'll see the different campaigns that we have set up over here, revenue, spends, income, clicks coming in. So the one thing that's important here is in this software that we've been utilizing lately, it automatically shows us our stats, but we can break it down by media buyer if we need to break it down by media buyer, or by vertical if we need to break it down by vertical. And we're able to look at our spends and our data that way as well. And then when we need to create websites, we just go into the same software and we just put in the domain name that we want, what kind of setup do we want, where do we want it to be set up at. Right here, we would set up like what type of campaigns we want to do. This website, let's say we want to do ABC skincare. We set up a package right here to set up, let's say, straight sales skincare. And it'll just start building a server for straight sales skincare, right? Another thing that you can do is set up different themes for the WordPress as well, set up the email. And then what you can also do is just go ahead and put in keywords for your articles, keywords for your products, and it'll go ahead and import articles and products right into your site as well. So this completely helps in getting the base, right, in the web dev part of the business, automated, systemized, and ready to go. Okay, I know you can probably hire people from the Philippines for maybe like $2 or $3. First of all, there's a learning curve. Second of all, there's a human error. Third of all, either they can do it, they can use a system like this so it can be error proof and you can be able to scale a lot faster, right? And in this same software, we go ahead and set up which servers we want to set it up with, which verticals we want to set it up with, which media buyers we want to set it up with, which offers we want to set it up with. Do we select a manual offer that we want to run to, or should we just put in all of our different offers that we run, and it auto rotates to find the best converting offer for that landing page and that campaign that we're doing at that time? Follow what I'm saying? Pretty sick, right? Imagine not having to anymore have to split test your offers, split test your landing page. Instead, it just does everything automatically for you on an AI-based system. So it looks at your data and starts adjusting from that as well. Then we have other systems where we're able to track the spend on it, so you got to get a better profit and loss system from it. So now that we went over the foundation of what is affiliate marketing, we went over how to start a media buying team, the systems that you need in place to be able to have that, organizational structures that you guys need as well. Now we're going over the gray hat of the business, okay? Who here has ever heard of black hat marketing, white hat marketing, or gray hat marketing? Just say aye if you heard any of the three. All right, great. All right. Has anybody here ever heard of gray hat marketing until now? Gray hat marketing is one of the rarest things. It's something that's going to be very big in 2019 because of what I mentioned, because of accounts lasting a lot longer, getting good spend out of them. So you can have a better sustainability of account, lifetime of account. It's way better, man. Benefits of the gray hat account, yep, like I just said, accounts last longer, more sustainable, the start of building longer term assets, okay? So let me give you an example real quick, right? Here we have 2 campaigns running effectively for gray hat. Now, you see, these are just pages that look like quick jump pages, bridge pages. These pages work. These call to action buttons, they can either go straight to the offer page or to, as you guys do Black Hat, it can go to your Black Hat advertorials. Okay. What happens is when reviewers go through your landing pages for quality review, what they're doing is they're doing two systems. Okay. Remember, what they're doing is they're doing a system first that's automated. They're doing a system to find out if people are cloaking, right? So they're trying to see if the page switches, if the content on the page switches, or if the URL redirects to a different page. So they're using it from their own automated platforms. They're doing it manually. And then what they're also doing is they're using residential IPs. So we might not ever know that they even came in. You know, it's very hard to even find them. That's why accounts are dying a lot quicker. And what happens is when these reviewers, you can look it up on YouTube too, when these reviewers look at these pages for reviews, they only have seconds to be able to say if this site is compliant or not. Okay? So when they look at this page, they're not clicking through. They just want to see, is there content on the page? Is there like terms on it? Are there disclaimers on it? That's all they're doing. So if you guys are doing any Black Hat stuff, you guys can always cloak those outbound links and they'll go through fine. I personally like to just use pages like this and just send it straight to the offer. It still converts. So now I know these are other verticals, so I'm putting in these verticals of skincare. We have this example right here. This is the whole page, right? In this page, you'll see that you just click the click on the call to action button and it'll go straight to the offer as well. Okay, this page gets approved, runs all the time like clockwork. Okay, now this is another page right here. It's a different type of gray hat strategy. This strategy is more gray hat because it's a review style. And the reason why is because this person put in the offer as being the top most recommended product, and all the other products, they probably never reviewed. All the other products they put in like Neutrogena, Estee Lauder, stuff like that, 2, 3, and 4. So people could think, oh, wow, this is better than Estee Lauder. This is better than these other brands that I see over the counter at Macy's. So this is something that will always get approved, man. This campaign right here, if you see this page right here, and you need to get something going now, want to get something working, try something out like this. You'll see a great difference in your ad and your campaign approvals. Okay, your ads will start getting approved. You'll be able to start running a lot smoother. Okay, this type of gray hat strategies, they're working with different verticals like diet, skincare, muscle, CBD, lead gen, crypto, casino. They're working with all these verticals. All right. So yeah, guys, that's basically what we're talking about for a Gray Hat Mastermind. What we like to do is over the next couple of months is we like to go over these Gray Hat strategies with you, right? First thing we like to do in our masterminds, we want to go over more in detail about systemizing your business, right? Starting a media buying team, systemizing your business, and building out these Gray Hat campaigns that can last way longer for 2019. All right. We want to be going over different examples, campaigns that you guys can just go ahead, plug in, play, let it rip, let it go. The only reason why me and Greg are doing this is because we've done things like this in the past before. I haven't done a webinar since last year. My main source of income is not doing webinars. It's not selling products or packages or info courses or anything like that at all. This is what I do. This is my bread and butter, is actually media buying. Okay, this is my bread and butter. We're not here looking to just to do anything nefarious. We're just looking over here to find out who it is that we can collaborate and work with and synergize with. You know, what happens in business is that we want to find people who we can be able to grow with us. All right, just like I first met Greg when I had first started, and Greg had benefited from me just as I benefited from him and all the masterminds that we've been in together. So it's a synergizing relationship, and that's what we're really looking for. We're looking for people who actually want to work, have a good work ethic, and when we have different projects, different ideas, we can always synergize with them. You know, we want to be able to say, hey, you know, you guys want to tackle CBD this month on some Gray Hat strategies? Let's do it this month, right? Let's check out some campaigns. Let's put in some campaigns, and I'll show you guys over the shoulder. This is exactly the campaign we set up, the ad we set up, the targeting that we set up, landing page that we had set up, the offers. You know, we'll connect you guys with our offers that we have internally, so you guys can just go ahead and start running right away. That's what we'll be doing. I think anybody can make it work. It's something that you can do at any age level because it's something that's systemizable. We can hire people to do most of the things that you need to get done if you're not able to do it or don't know exactly how to do it. Okay. These campaigns are working right now. It's proven to be working. You can just scale, rinse, and repeat this across many different verticals. In the past, me and Greg, we've done different masterminds. We've had people in for about 20 to 30,000 to teach some of the same things that you guys have picked up on this webinar, and more in detail also. I remember me and Greg, we did an event, right, in DC once. People came in there, and so many people there that came in with so many different types of experiences, which I can imagine people in our mastermind will do as well right now in our Great Head Mastermind. People who are brand new, just getting started, people who have been in the game for a little bit, or people who are just looking to pivot in their business. So yeah, we've had many different people like that, and we worked with many people like afterwards as well. We were able to give out campaigns to people. I've given out campaigns to people at this mastermind so that, you know, same thing in this mastermind coming out, we'll do the same thing. We'll give you campaigns, so make sure that you guys, all you got to do is really execute these campaigns and it'll work. Okay, execute the campaigns, follow our system, and it'll definitely work for you guys. All right, we want to basically disrupt the industry and look for key people that we can collaborate and work with in 2019. We believe, or I fundamentally believe, that business, a large part of business, has to do with our relationships that we build along our way in business. So, for example, when things change, you know, Greg can reach out to me. I can reach out to Greg. We can say, hey, there's a situation that I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing right now? And vice versa. And we're able to collaborate and help ourselves out. You know, there's ups and downs in the business. The key thing is when you have established relationships, we can help each other out during the downtimes. You know, the difference is that, you know, in business, our downs are a lot higher than previous. That's why it's so great to be in a group of people in a mastermind who are all successful or all wanting to be successful and actually doing things. And that's what we're looking for. People who actually are actively hungry, are actively looking to work. Okay. But I don't want to scare you guys. Right? Don't panic on the price at all. We got something worked out special for you guys. All right. So the price that we were going to do initially, when I spoke to Greg said, listen, we should do this for $4,997. That way we get people that actually have money and are willing to invest to get into the mastermind. That way we also know that they have money to actually spend and invest into ads. So I'm on the opposite side of it, and I spoke to Greg, and I was like, listen, you know what? I completely understand that. We've done that in the past, but what happens is there's a lot of people who may be alienated. And it's not that we're looking for a quick cash payday. We just want people to come in so we can work with you guys, see who we can work with, that we can be able to grow business in 2019, right? We want more people to join our mastermind. So if you guys want to enroll into our mastermind, it's only $997 monthly. Just go to greyhatmarketing.com right now, type in I'm in, and we'll go ahead and get you guys started. Type I'm in the chat box right now, and we can be able to get things rolling for you guys. All right, Greg, do you see any of the comments there?
Yeah, I got to see a couple people were saying in already. Excuse me. So yeah, we're looking good. But yeah, I just want to let everybody know too, you know, I mean, if they've been following me any amount of time, they know that I'm pretty big on masterminds. But I mean, the reason why I am is that, I mean, since I kind of, you know, I've made it a point to, you know, to just be around wealthy people, you know, to be around people that are where I want to be. You know, and I've, you know, been fortunate enough to network with a lot of, you know, people that, you know, make a lot of money. And one thing that I've seen, like, without exception, I'm not for I would say rich people. What I call rich, I would say maybe, you know, worth like let's say 10 million and up. Like without exception, everybody that I've met that level and up, and especially the higher you go up, they are all in at least one like formal master, at least one. You know, and I know, man, JJ. I mean, like since I met you, I mean, like we've done a couple ourselves. Like we've also been in, you know, some of the same ones together. And I mean, there's nothing else that can really like accelerate, you know, your business and your earnings anymore. I mean, because if you can collaborate with people and kind of, you know, literally put your heads together, I mean, it's just, you know, I can't like, I can't hype it up enough. I mean, it works. It works.
Yeah,
Um,
you know what happens a lot. I don't know if it happens to you, Greg, but for me, like right before affiliate summit, this always happens. Hey, listen, man, I'd like to take you out to eat some steak, and so I could pick your brain for a little bit. I'd like to get some beer so I could pick your brain for a little bit. And people don't realize that. First of all, I love steak. I would not turn down a Kobe steak. It's pretty hard for me to turn down a Kobe steak. But what happens is, a lot of times when we hear that, it's not that we don't want to help out. It's not that I don't want to help out people. Is that when you look at somebody that are looking for free information is a lot different than when somebody is actually actively going out and looking for that information. When people are given things for free, it's just a human nature. People take things for granted are given to them for free, versus when somebody actively invests into something, they take it a lot more seriously. And I can imagine that's why you said, Greg, right? Like, hey, we should charge a lot more because people cough up money, but they're gonna take this shit seriously, right?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, man, but this is something that everybody can do. And actually, I don't think you mentioned, but this is going to be virtual. We're going to meet twice a month. We're going to be twice a month, like over probably something like this, like Zoom or something like this.
Yeah,
And
we can start in January, or we can do something right before January to get you guys, geared up for the new year. And then I think we could just do something, bi-weekly, bi-monthly. Every 2 weeks, we just do something, and we do a webinar. We get everybody caught up to speed. We can have a members area so people can see the recorded calls, or different things like that. We really want something to be synergistic for everybody. So if we can do polls, if people want to start doing other type of verticals, we can do it all together. And that way we could all learn and grow together. If somebody has some new resources that are coming into the group, then we can look into those resources, explore it, and see what we can recommend to the rest of the group, right? But we really want to cultivate an environment where people can learn and grow together, because after all, I think that's the most important thing. Because shit, man, things are going to change in 2020 also. I want a good group of people who've been with me through 2019 making some good money, so we can say, hey, things changed again. What are we going to do now? Hey, maybe we should pivot into other areas. But I think is that core group of people that are working together for a common goal, right?
yeah, it's so crazy, man. Like I think it was maybe last year when you told me that you met this guy in Jersey that knew me. His name, I don't want to say his name. It starts with an R. But you met him. Somebody, he's a real serious advertiser. I actually had a mastermind like this a few years ago. It was actually the exact same price. And so we would meet like every 2 weeks. It was on at the time we used what was it, Google Hangout or whatever. And like, so this guy was like, he had never, done a campaign before in his life, but he was really doing a whole bunch of research and all this stuff. Like every meeting, he was just doing more research. And, we were like, dude, just like launch a campaign and stuff like that, And I honestly like didn't think that he was going to be that successful. And fast forward like 2 years, and I talked to the guy, and he's blown up. I mean, he's blown up like way past, like, I mean, I'll admit, way past, me, as far as earning and stuff like that. And so, and it can't, again, I'm not taking, the mastermind, I'm not taking all the credit, but it definitely had a lot to do with it. And it was just so funny though, how he grew, so much just from that, those mastermind meetings, twice a month. And it got to the point, I was shocked at how successful he actually got. But it's just a testament to whenever you're putting your heads together with like-minded people, especially people that, have a clue of, of what's going on. Magical things can happen.
For sure, man. So yeah, do we got any questions coming in?
Let me see. Somebody says, what traffic sources will you be using for this?
I think we can go over the main traffic sources, Facebook and Google. Those are the main one. Everything else is like native, stuff like that. We can definitely cover those as well. But I think we start with the most simplistic to get started.
All right. Let's see. JJ, you're going to blow my offers up.
Come into the group. Let's see what you got. Let's see how we can add value to it and how we can do some stuff great at,
All right. I think that's all questions for now.
I hope everybody realizes like if you guys really stick to these gray hat strategies, you know, this is what's really going to help you guys out in 2019. I don't know if you guys are mostly like black hat, white hat, gray hat, any type of fucking hat. You just want to fucking make money. You know, gray hat is definitely the way to go if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, get things approved, get accounts rolling a little bit longer, have accounts that be more sustainable. I look at campaigns as like, or my accounts really now. I look at my accounts as like a Rolodex of like my portfolio. Sorry, my portfolio. That's how I look at it. You know, I have this one account and it's giving me such and such ROI daily. There's other accounts giving me another ROI daily. And that's just how my income is coming in, really. So I think the good thing about doing Gray Hat is that you can start up in one vertical. And what you can do, you know, a lot of people do it, is they just scale up vertically. Scaling up vertically means that you just stick to that one vertical. So let's say it's, let's just say it's skincare. You only do skincare and you keep hammering at skincare. Other people, what they do is that they'll do one vertical, skincare, let it grow to a good amount of income, steady income coming in. Then you can switch it into another vertical, do another vertical, like a diet. Keto is going to be very fucking big in a couple of weeks, right? Another one is keto, stick that in, grow that up, that portfolio up, and then go to another vertical, grow that portfolio up, and then another vertical. So that's what I'm planning on doing with this mastermind, is that like every month we go over one vertical, stick to that vertical, and in the following month we go to another vertical. And then we just keep going on that way. And then everybody will be, you know, growing income for fucking 2019. Things will just go amazing. I can't wait for this.
All right. Are these strategies working with Facebook? Yes. Yes, I'll answer that one.
Yeah.
Any verticals, any examples of ad spend and aggressive verticals like skin doing Gray Hat on Facebook?
Yep. We could definitely go over all that.
Yeah, I've actually had success doing it with some pretty aggressive verticals on Google and Facebook. And, you know, it definitely works. I would say I got probably, I remember, I don't give you the exact number, but I know my spend was probably at least 4 to 5 times what it would normally have been, the regular way. And also it saves you a lot on if your cloaker charges by the click, it saves you a lot of money on that as well. But yeah, it definitely works. I mean, like I've done it for, I can tell you, I've done it for ED and I've done it for diet, and yep, it works.
This works great for actually ED and crypto as well. Works like gangbusters for fucking crypto, man.
Okay, CBD, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody said CBD. All right, so we've been testing CBD. One of our guys had done about like 50K last month doing CBD without having to cloak or any of that bullshit. Accounts get approved, ads get approved. You know, everything goes great with it.
Are you guys using chat bots?
What's a chat box?
Chat bots. I think it's something from Messenger.
Like if that's not the great hat marketing strategy that we're using, but we do chatbots as well.
Yeah, I use them a little bit too. Let's see.
Yeah, chatbot have its time and place, I would say. That's the best way I could explain it. It has its time and place.
How long are accounts lasting with your Gray Hat methods, and do you show how to create new accounts from Google and Facebook?
So far, it's been about 2 months now. No issues, no retro disapprovals, no campaigns going down or accounts going down for 2 months now, knock on wood. Right? But 2 months is pretty fucking good. If this was Black Hat, it'd be a unicorn fucking account. And we'll be going over how to make new accounts. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I can say I'm not saying this is the average, or I'm not saying that they'll all be this way. But I had a Google account that I did over $100,000 on using this, and it was for ED. So and I've not come close to that with Black Hat.
Yeah, we did that with crypto with this Gray Hat.
Yeah, so you can definitely get some spend out of it.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty shocked about how long the one lasted, because it was even with the Gray Hat, it was still like more on the aggressive side, and yeah, it lasted pretty long time.
Yeah.
Are you burning through Facebook accounts or buying them, or will these accounts last for a while?
I mean, those are all like different strategies. You could burn accounts. I mean, we're not burning accounts, but I think you're talking about more like churn and burn. We're not doing churn and burn on these accounts. I mean, they're lasting. We're not having issues with accounts going down because of this.
Yeah, it got to the point with me because I was buying accounts off of this guy, and then he was like, "Dude, like, are you gonna buy more accounts?" I'm like, "My accounts are still going, man, that I bought last time." So yeah, you definitely. I mean, but
Yeah,
even like you said, and they would probably even last a little longer, you know, if I wasn't as aggressive. But
yeah. I mean, there's a time and place for buying accounts. Buying accounts is more for people who are a little bit more systematic with everything. Um, and more for people who are looking to churn and burn. It seems like really because once you get an account, there's no really no need to keep creating more accounts unless you want what you want to do is you just want to separate each vertical on a different account completely different master account or MCC or business manager account just to separate it so that one doesn't affect retroactively affect the other accounts that is in that account group, if that makes sense to you guys.
all right, will there be a replay? I'm like, yes, we have recorded it, so I'll send it out tomorrow. Will I need multiple credit cards, computer, VPSs, etc.?
It's up to you guys. Like I has just said, if you guys want to separate it into different accounts and campaigns and stuff like that, then yes, you would need it because if you're going to set up a new account would need a different IP address and it would need a different funding source. And we can show you guys how to source all those things so you can get it.
All right, let me see. Do you find that you get lower ROI, but accounts last longer with gray hat over doing completely black hat, churn and burn, and the ROI and do you get lower? Do you find you get lower ROI, but accounts last longer, or is the ROI higher? I guess with black hat.
All right, I'm glad you asked that. All right, so typically, like in Black Hat, what people do in Black Hat is their targeting is so broad, so they can be able to appeal to more people because they're mass appeal products. So they don't really get time to optimize, right? So they're just doing it so they can get higher ROI, be able to get more exposure, more impression, more clicks, and make more money that way. When you're doing gray hat, you will see a loss of ROI in the beginning, not negative ROI, but meaning like if the same campaign is not going to do 100% on gray hat, you might see it go down to like a 75% ROI. Will last longer, but during this time frame that accounts are lasting longer, what you can do is now you have time that you can go ahead and start optimizing it. You start doing lookalike audiences. Facebook does their auto optimizations on your accounts as well. So does Google as well. So once you have your account like this, now you can start actually optimizing it and getting better ROIs than you had in Black Hat because you're able to have the time to also optimize that account and that campaign specifically. If that makes sense to you guys.
All right. On crypto, you take from bridge page to advertorial.
It depends on you can do it both ways. Either your gray hat page to your advertorial, or your gray hat page, if it explains it well enough, straight to the offer page, because the offer page does explain it as well and has a video that breaks down the opportunity as well. So I would first check out the offer page, see if it explains the opportunity well. If it doesn't, then use a pre-sell into it, buffer it in between.
All right. I think that's it for the questions here so far. Anybody else? Last call on questions. All right. All right, JJ. Hey, man. I think we answered all the questions. So I appreciate
Cool.
it, man. That was good, man. I mean, so every time you talk, I learn stuff. I learn stuff as well. That's the other thing too. I want to let people know is that this isn't just something we just kind of, me and JJ just kind of sit back and just chill. I mean, like we get a lot out of this as well. we learn from the mastermind. We learn from you guys. It's a collaborative thing. It's not like we're just sitting there. It's a collaborative thing. So this is something that is really good for us as well. And I'm personally looking forward to it. Even just seeing, especially some of the people looks like they're signing up. I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. So.
Yeah, man. I remember at our one of our previous masterminds. This is one of the things I love about working with also newer people or people who have been experienced but are just getting started. People that are experienced just getting started. What I have found is that they're very creative. They got like fresh, new ideas, and that's why I love talking to people just getting started out because of the creative angles that people have, or different business strategies that I haven't thought of.
Yep, that's the beauty of it, man. People bring in different perspectives, and
Exactly.
You don't hear it normally. All right, man. Well, hey, man, appreciate your time, and it was good stuff. And hey, thanks for the knowledge.
All right, guys. Take care, guys. Have a good night.
Okay.